We're here at Landscape Arch. This right here, this lovely arch, is the largest arch in the Western Hemisphere. Really, it's the largest one outside of China. You can fit a full football field underneath it. I believe it's 396 feet long, if I'm remembering correctly. And it is the largest sandstone arch in the world, and the 5th largest arch in the world. It had a major rockfall in 1991, and you can see the remnants of that as in these piles of boulders here, and the lighter colored, less patinaed rock where it fell. The trail used to go underneath the arch right there, and when that rockfall happened, not only were there people out here, there was someone recording, and which is impressive for 1991. In addition to that, there were people on the other side of the arch when the rockfall happened. So rangers had to come in and get them out the back way because this was pretty impossible to traverse safely. So, and it's about 6 feet wide in its narrowest spot, and there have been successful attempts of walking across it. Those are people that know what they're doing, but nobody's allowed to walk across it. Your fun facts about North Window. So this whole area that you can see is exposed rock. This did not used to be exposed rock.
How far back though?
Right here. You're talking 70s, 80s. There was rock. There was dirt here. And slowly, just because so many people walked here, it eroded away and went down. There's pictures of it. It's a cool Arch's website. It has a cool before and after where you can slide it back and forth, and they've taken photos in the same spot. So that's a cool, my favorite webpage personally on the website. Your other cool fun fact about North Window is we do actually have GPS trackers on the arch. These are not to tell us if the arch is going to fall, because we really can't predict that. But we do watch them in the nighttime. The rock expand and contract as nighttime comes, as it cools and heats up and cools and heats up. So it's almost like the arch is breathing, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
So.
All right, look at that rock right there.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fall.
I know, huh?
If I
2 hours.
Yeah.
It's sitting over
It's
here.
sitting over here.
And then she tells you that rock breathes, you know.
if I had to put money on one of the major arches falling, it would be this one, or partially falling.
And the crack.
As we sit underneath it.
Yeah, there's a crack here. Yeah.
Probably won't be today, though. Was up there a minute ago?
Yes, that was there. That's been here while I've been here. How are natural arches formed? An arch is a national park that has the highest concentration of natural arches in the world. There are over 2,000 present in the park. One of the main reasons why there are so many arches there is the rock layers that are present. The upper rock layer is called the entrada sandstone. That's what most of the arches are made out of. And it is a very porous rock layer, just like a sponge. And when it rains, just like a sponge, that water starts to drip through the sponge. Now, the rock layer right underneath the entrada sandstone is called the Dewey Bridge member of the Carmel Formation. And that's a lot like a scour pad, which water doesn't penetrate very well. Does a little bit, but not super well. It doesn't seep through. Kind of traps that water. So when I pour water on this one, it pools on top. And what happens when you put those two together, just like this sponge here, is that water has to find a way out because it seeps into the sponge and can't get through that bottom layer, so it has to come out the sides or get trapped in the rock. Now that trapped in the sides create all those little holes called siphoni, and that water slowly grabs little bits of the rock and pulls it out with little bits of that sand, pulls it out with it as it goes. And that water that gets stuck inside, if it's there in the wintertime, where they get below freezing quite often, it's gonna freeze. And one of the lessons we were all taught as a kid is don't leave your water bottle in the car when it's freezing, because it'll expand and explode everywhere. And that's what's happening in those rocks, is it's slowly expanding, giving it bigger space for more water to go in, expanding, melting, expanding, and cracking that rock. And that process is called frost wedging. And those two processes cause the large amounts of arches in Arches National Park, and also help with the arch, and are part of the arch formation process all around the world. This is the Wolfe Ranch house. This ranch here was started by a Civil War veteran and his son that moved out here from Ohio. They came out here and they built a house. It's not this house, putting it in quotes, because from our understanding, it's kind of, they just lived in a cave in the wash. And that's about it. All the remnants of that has been washed away by a flood long before, like, the National Park Service really got here and was preserving stuff. And had ability to take a picture of it or something. So we don't really know what it was like, but that was our understanding. And then the daughter/sister moved out here with her husband and 2 children and said, I want a house. This is the house they built. We do not know if all 6 of them lived in here or just the 4 of them. Either way, it's a lot of people for a little bitty house.
That's a room.
They were out here ranching cattle, and there's not much water out here, so they were here for about 10 years or so, and then they packed up and went back to Ohio because it was too hard to live out here. So
What's this over here?
that would have been a storehouse,
Okay.
and all of the things that are inside both of these. Well, I don't know if there's anything inside that one. I don't know. But everything inside this one here are actual things that were found here. We've just placed them inside the house for protection. The roof has been redone on this house. It was redone last year. But the same materials, so it would have been bark of the juniper trees and willow trees, I believe, near here, and local mud, and they redid it. They did a really great job just to help preserve the building and keep it standing. Okay. So this plant here is called ephedra. Its common name is Mormon Tea. Because the Mormon settlers came out here, you can make a tea out of it that has decongestant qualities to it. You may recognize the similarity between ephedra and pseudoephedrine.
Oh!
Pseudoephedrine comes from this plant family of ephedra. It is not this particular one, it is a slightly stronger one from Asia, but they are similar enough, and that's why make the tea out of it is a good thing for that, and that's where that comes from. So.
Nice.
If you like our videos, please comment, subscribe, and like this one. Thanks. We'll see you next time.